Hi, I'm Dong Sean. Welcome to Digging into China, where we explore China in depth to reveal unique perspectives. The ongoing tariff conflicts between China and the United States has sparked intense debate, with experts offering conflicting predictions. Some claim China is on the brink of collapse, while others assert the United States is destined to falter. Yet, have you considered that? As the AI revolution looms, this rivalry between China and the US can no longer be judged by historical precedent. The outcome of this contest may not follow traditional patterns, as a transformative wave of technology could soon redefine the rules entirely. Today, I invite you to explore a perspective that might challenge your fundamental assumptions. Before we delve into that paradigm-shifting idea, let us first examine the conventional narrative that China's ascent is inevitable and assess its validity. We frequently hear China's state media and even President Xi Jinping himself declare that China is a sleeping lion. When this lion awakens, the world will tremble, and that lion, they say, is now fully awake. This confidence from China's leadership draws heavily from a theory proposed by strategist Zhai Dongsheng, known as "the East rises, the West falls." His argument unfolds as follows. In the 17th century, the Netherlands, a small nation of a few 100,000, emerged as the world's hegemon through advanced navigational prowess. Spain then adopted Dutch techniques and, with a population of millions, surpassed the Netherlands to claim global dominance. By the 18th century, Britain mastered the Spanish methods and, with a population in the tens of millions, easily assumed the mantle of world leadership. In the 20th century, the United States, with a population in the hundreds of millions, harnessed British innovations and naturally relegated the United Kingdom to history's archives. Following this pattern of technological adoption paired with exponential population growth, China today has completed its industrialization and largely mastered American technologies. With a population in the billions, the logic suggests it is China's turn to lead. Overtaking the United States, according to this view, is only a matter of time. This theory underpinned the frequent assertions from China's leadership and the media that time and momentum favor China. President Xi often emphasizes that the world is undergoing a transformation unseen in a century, with the tide of history on China's side. In plain terms, this means that the fusion of technology is unstoppable. Even if the United States imposes restrictions today, it merely delays China's mastery. Once achieved, China's vast population will ensure its dominance. Current U.S. sanctions and pressure, they argue, are but temporary displays of defiance. China also benefits from an institutional ability to focus resources on grand objectives, enabling the consistent execution of long-term strategies. In contrast, the United States, with its elections every 4 years, often lacks sustained planning. Thus, while the US may secure short-term tactical advantages, China is poised to achieve a strategic overtake in the long run. President Xi, they claim, is the future leader of the globe, fostering lasting peace in our shared world. That he engages with the US president as an equal, they suggest, is a privilege Americans should cherish. This argument appears compelling at first, neatly summarizing past industrial revolutions. However, it overlooks a critical forthcoming disruption. Just as China positions itself to surpass the US, it is hurtling toward an unprecedented technological revolution. Artificial intelligence coupled with full automation. This shift will dismantle the era when large populations conferred advantage. To illustrate this vividly, consider a modest AI experiment. 80 years ago, a robotics lab shared a YouTube video showcasing a robot named Pepper learning to play a ball in a cup game, swing a ball to land in a cup. Initially, Pepper failed every attempt, much like a novice. Yet, after 100 times, when it succeeded once by chance, it mastered the task, achieving perfect accuracy thereafter. For humans, becoming an expert in any field requires decades and exceptional talent. For AI, a single success is instantly shared across all systems worldwide. The implications of these capabilities are profound. Consider another example. A Ukrainian sniper recently set a record by eliminating a target from 3,800 meters, surpassing a 2017 record by a Canadian soldier at 3,500 meters in Iraq. Such skill in the human army is extraordinarily rare. Yet, for AI soldiers, the scenario is alarming. If one AI hits a target from 5,000 meters, all AI units instantly gain that precision. Moreover, AI robots require no sustenance or rest, react in 0.01 second, and operate continuously. Human soldiers would have no opportunity to respond. This principle extends to automotive technology. Tesla's end-to-end autonomous driving system, with a single update, can transform millions of vehicles worldwide into expert drivers akin to a racing champion. Apply this to other sectors, and AI operating a sewing machine is trivial. Soon, top-tier factory workers, master technicians, renowned chefs, and elite programmers will be replicated by AI instantaneously. Some may optimistically believe that this future is distant, affording ample time to prepare. However, I assure you, this transformation will arrive abruptly, catching us unprepared. When it does, what will the world resemble? A science fiction short film offers a glimpse of an AI-dominated future. It depicts two superpowers vying for resources on an alien planet, where every process, mining, smelting, and 3D printing spacecraft is fully automated, devoid of human involvement. Within decades, the planet is scarred by AI mining machines, while automated factories produce fleets of spacecraft that nearly cover its surface. In such a world, competition hinges not on population, but on resource acquisition and extraction efficiency. The swiftest and the most relentless prevail. Returning to Earth, envision a near future where early AI robots are costly. Yet the true disruption arises when robots begin manufacturing robots. Human labor cost constraints will vanish, and AI robots will be produced in vast quantities like common goods. Imagine fully automated AI factories operating around the clock, driving robot production costs even lower. Eventually, a robot capable of replacing a skilled worker or expert may cost less than a smartphone today. Consider this context. Since the first automobile in 1886, humanity has produced roughly 2.5 billion vehicles over a century, with 1.5 billion in the last 25 years. Mobile phones in mere decades have reached 17 billion units, 16 billion of which were made in the last 25 years. This surge coincided with China's entry into the WTO. Leveraging its vast population, China elevated global manufacturing to unprecedented levels. Undeniably, China's demographic scale was a formidable asset in the industrial era. Yet, this achievement will be overshadowed by the impending AI and automation revolution. When AI self-replicates, tireless, unpaid, and immune to strikes, the global robot population could exceed 10 billion within a decade. More alarmingly, each robot will embody the capabilities of a super worker, super engineer, or super soldier. Humans, in contrast, may be deemed superfluous even for basic tasks. This tipping point will not require decades. Technologies like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and Tesla's autonomous driving advance and iterate faster than anticipated, catching us off guard. The AI revolution will strike unexpectedly. Given this, does China's strategy of leveraging its population to surpass the US remain viable? Can China sustain its role as the foremost challenger to global leadership? A definitive answer risks oversimplification. Instead, let us analyze with rigor the geopolitical, resource, and demographic realities of today's nations to identify which will thrive and which may falter. All industry will undergo profound restructuring. Manufacturing will transition to fully automated factories, with AI overseeing design through delivery, rendering human labor obsolete. Professional services, law, medicine, finance, once reliant on expertise, will likely be AI-dominated. Humanity may be left with two roles, supervising AI and defining ethical limits, or simply articulating desires. All else will contribute to carbon emissions. Historically, labor-rich nations became global factories through affordable workforce. In the future, capital will seek regions with low-cost electricity, expensive land, sparse population, and political stability. Areas with cheap energy, vast terrain, and low disaster risks will attract manufacturing investment. Energy will become the primary production factor, and the geography and the climate will dictate AI capital allocation. Traditional manufacturing powers will face formidable challenges. Without the labor advantages, nations lagging in technology and unable to adapt swiftly will be sidelined by capital. Labor-intensive countries with millions of low-skilled workers will see employment markets collapse under AI's impact, likely sparking social instability. As AI supplants humans, industries will decentralize from urban and coastal hubs. We may witness automated factories in deserts or data centers on Antarctica, once unimaginable scenarios. National strength will be measured anew. Population size will yield to energy reserves. GDP will be overshadowed by computing power. Military might will hinge on technological and AI combat capabilities and automated weapon factories. Industrial chains will be less relevant than mineral resource diversity. Economic growth rates will matter less than renewable energy and resource sustainability. Under these metrics, small nations will rise. Mastery of technology, energy, and computing power will enable even minor players to challenge established powers. Historically, 168 Spaniards toppled the multi-million-strong Inca Empire in the 16th century, and in 1900, a few thousand eight-nation alliance troops defeated the Qing dynasty's hundreds of millions. Imagine, during that era, boasting of the Qing dynasty's population advantage, it would have been absurd. Another critical factor, in the future, much of humanity will rely on government welfare, making large populations a liability for resource-scarce nations. Promising nations will require affordable energy, vast land, low populations, and a scalable infrastructure. Which countries fit this profile? Consider an unexpected candidates, Middle Eastern nations like the UAE and Saudi Arabia. Their desert landscape offer abundant solar energy, flat terrain, and near constant clear skies. The UAE, for instance, boasts some of the world's lowest electricity costs at $1.35 per kilowatt hour. Oil-rich nations enjoy near-free fossil fuels for domestic use, insulated from global price fluctuations, ensuring 24/7 low-cost factory operations. Building in desert eliminates pollution concerns, demolition costs, and land expenses, making these regions highly attractive to capital. Similarly, Canada, with the world's second-largest landmass and only 40 million people, offers sparse populations, affordable electricity, and a proximity to the U.S. Its stable geopolitical environment suits large-scale data centers and automated factories, while access to U.S. markets facilitates technology and capital inflows. Australia shares these advantages with rich natural gas, coal, iron ore, and a solar resource, a favorable climate, and a low population burden, ideal for expensive automated facilities in the data centers. The United States, with its technological supremacy, holds a unique edge. Leading globally in AI with a robust ecosystem, it also possesses vast energy resources, including natural gas and shale oil. Industrial electricity in some inland states is cheaper than in China. Positioning sparsely populated regions as AI-era industrial hubs, the U.S. advanced financial markets further enable rapid AI infrastructure expansion. Returning to China, its leadership often claims time and momentum are on its side. China's primary advantage today is clear. Global capital invests here for inexpensive labor and the resulting industrial scale. But when cheap labor loses relevance, what then? In the AI era, labor-intensive nations will be abandoned by capital, which will prioritize stable, affordable electricity, open land, and continuous innovation. China may not lack electricity or land, but can it sustain technological innovation? Frankly, its innovation ecosystem remains nascent. If China continues its past strategy of measured development, it may fare well. However, if it chooses ideological confrontation with the world and pursue a full-scale Cold War with the U.S. at this juncture, its path will be fraught with difficulty. I hesitate to assert that China's future is bleak, yet I am certain that its confidence in a population-driven East rises, West falls narrative will, in time, be regarded by history as profoundly misguided. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, please like it, drop a comment below, and hit the subscribe button right here. It really helps YouTube suggest my video to others. I'll be back with more content soon. Until then, be well.